who are mainstream, they don't get that acknowledgement. They don't get those awards.
Okay, shout out to Big Crit, Scotty ATL, JID, J Electronica, Wale. Basically what you were just talking about, I'm shouting out some of them people that don't get them.
Mm-hmm.
Even Cole, like, I don't see Cole getting them awards, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, shout out to them guys. And I know I ain't name everybody, but anyway, to answer the question, that's something that we've been talking about here lately because my people know how I am. It's a lot of cats out of my city that, shall remain nameless. They starting to rap now, and, I birthed them. And some of them niggas older than me, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, I remember picking, some of them niggas up and, having to go pick about 3 other homies up. And, I'm in 9th grade and they in 12th grade and I gotta go get them. Hold on, this supposed to be the other way around, but we ain't gonna go there. But birthing niggas and you don't hear from them. So the answer to your question is like, my man was just asking me like, man, you might not get all of the whoop, the kahoot, you might not, but you might be like Crit though. Or you might be like Currency though, and you still straight, but you ain't getting them accolades. You gonna be good because you know how you is. It's like, I'm the humble nigga, but at the same time, it's like, man, hold the fuck up. Like, because I feel like that now. It's like Chris Rock said, like, sometimes niggas be talking to me like I ain't funny. It's like, sometimes niggas be talking to me like they don't understand. Like, okay, I've been in this game since I was 6. The first thing I ever did was an album. I didn't know what a mixtape was till about 2009. I came up in the era where, even though I was born in 94, I came up from that era where it was like you had to freestyle for a nigga before you could even come and record in his studio. It ain't matter if you had the money for the studio time. It ain't matter about none of that. You had to prove to this nigga you could rap before you could even pay him for studio time. I come from that era of you got a single. Okay, now we finna make the other 11 songs to complete the album. I come from that era of, okay, we need a radio single, we need a club, we need them 3, we need that strip, we need them things. So, for me, I mean, it matters, but it don't. Being a ghostwriter and a songwriter, I learned that you aren't always gonna get credited for what you do. Registered, I might add. I have wrote some songs that a lot of people been jamming to, and when you mention to some people you close to, not people you don't know, but the people you close to, like, yeah, bro, I wrote that hook. Oh man, for real.
Yeah.
And it make you feel like, but then, it's like, the people that helped Lauryn Hill do Miseducation didn't get that credit neither. The guy that wrote Waterfalls work at a Marriott and ATL as we speak.
Wow.
So, it is what it is. That's why it's always good to be on the other side of the game. So even if you won't get the credit, your residuals and your income gives you the credit.
Yeah.
You ain't gotta really be worried about no awards because it's
you
like
still gonna get paid from it.
Get paid.
Yeah.
I'm sitting good while the nigga that's getting awards maybe ain't even really living how it may look. So,
Now I wanted to go back to what you said like a few seconds ago about the era that you come from, because the freestyling. The golden era of music to me, hip hop was in towards the late 80s and the 90s when you had, the Bad Boy, the Death Row Records, Snoop, Dr. Dre, Biggie, Craig Mack, Run DMC and all them. And these artists, they could freestyle, and even some now, like, Eminem, J. Cole, Kendrick Lamar, Remy Ma, and it's like now a lot of these artists, they can't even freestyle. you know, if you put a spotlight on them and you give them a mic and just say spit something off the top of their head, it's horrible. I don't know if you've seen that video, Lil Yachty, and, oh, God, it was some more of them in there. But they were supposed to be doing a freestyle video, and it was whack. Like, it was just horrible. And sometimes, to me, I feel like if a rapper cannot freestyle, I feel like you shouldn't call yourself a rapper. So am I wrong to think that?
I mean, as a fan, no, because you got your opinion.
Mm-hmm.
But being an artist, what I can say is you got a lot of niggas that may write better than they freestyle.
Okay. You
got a lot of niggas that may freestyle better than they write. I remember when I first started, I was a better freestyler than a writer. I couldn't write shit. Like, and I could read and write, but I could not put... I couldn't do it. Like, I didn't know how to write a verse. Mm-hmm. Like, I couldn't. The words weren't never rhyme and it wasn't never. But you tell me to freestyle?
You got it.
I give you the coldest. And I came from the battling and being at the park freestyling Smith Hazel, you know, north side nigga. I'm from the north side of Aiken. We used to freestyle. And I remember it was this nigga from New York that moved to the block. And a lot of people don't know. A lot of New York niggas move to South Carolina. It's a lot of New York niggas. It's a lot of, and then it's a lot of that. Like Speaker Knockers. Speaker Knockers is actually from New York. So why people don't think to listen to A Boogie and understand that A Boogie was birthed by Speaker Knockers. But that's another conversation. We ain't going there right now. But anyway, you know, it was like if you beat New York, you was cold. You got that, because it's like we from the South, so it's like if you beat a nigga from New York, you was
dope.
Yeah, like you was so like I feel like you got niggas like Diddy. You know, Diddy said it best. You know, I don't write songs, I write checks. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, you got situations where it goes back to me being a songwriter and a ghostwriter. Got some niggas, you know. I mean, it just really all depends. But no, you're not wrong for having your opinion, because, I mean, you're supposed to have your opinion. But my personal opinion, I can't throw that out there because, once again, you know, you don't want to mess up no situations where you ain't got to. You know.
Now, I've always wanted someone to show me how to write a verse, like a 16 bars. Like, is it a formula to it? Like, okay, so I might sound stupid when I say this, but in my mind, when I picture someone writing 16 bars, I'm looking at, like, college rule paper, and I'm counting 16 lines. And it's got to be, like, I guess a line for each line is 16 bars. Am I wrong to think that, or is it a different formula?
I mean, everybody got their own formula. The formula of counting bars is like 4, 4, 4, 4.
Okay.
So it's like, you know, 4 times 4 is 16. So it's like, you know, 4 lines, boom. 4 lines, boom. That's 8.
Okay.
Okay. Another 4 lines, boom. That's 12. Another 4 lines, that's your 16. So it's like, that's really the build up of it, like 4, 4, 4, 4. You know what I'm saying? And your 8 bars is your 4, 4. A lot of times 8 bars is a hook. A lot of times when you write a hook, it come out in an 8-bar format. You know, that's why you hear some niggas say, oh, that was a 12-bar verse, or that was a 24, or that was a 36. If it was a 36, it's what? 4 times 12, 36. If it was a 2-4, that's 4 times what? What's 4 times? 4 times 10, 24. It's just 40 or whatever. But it's a 4 format.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? And 4 times 6, 24. So yeah, it's a 4-4 format. And that's really how it works. But like for me personally, it varies, you know, because I write in so many different ways. So like they say, different strokes, different folks.
So when you're in the studio and you're working on something for yourself, I know you say you ghostwrite and you write for others, but when you're in here and you're working on something for yourself, like what's your formula? Is there anything special that you have to do to get yourself in the mindset when you're about to go in and about to record a song?
I can't smoke before my sessions. That's all I say.
Okay.
I won't give my formula. But it's a process now. Now, I will say that I'm very challenging to work with. I'm very demanding. I'm very picky. I'm very like if it's I don't want to sound like a diva, but if it's real hot in here, that can become a distraction for me.
But that's not divish because I don't like it to be hot whatsoever. So I don't think that's divish.
I gotta have something to kind of quench my sweet tooth. I can drink in the studio, but like smoking before, I used to get shit, man. We used to get but I can't. If I smoke before, you can tell in my voice I can't perform.
Okay.
You know, and that's when just in them transitions you learn things like that. Like, your voice. You know what I'm saying? Like, your voice is like an instrument. And I value that. So like if I smoke before I record, you can tell. It don't sound, so just little stuff like that. I don't like a lot of people in my session.
Okay, I was gonna ask you that next. Cause I see some artists like they'll have like that. Everybody in their family and they friends in the studio with it. I'm like, how y'all getting any work done?
A bunch of
people in there with you.
A bunch of yes men to build their confidence for some trash ass shit.
Well, let me ask you, what like the music industry as of today? Like, what are your thoughts on it? Like, when you see some of the music that's flooding the airwaves, like, does it disgust you? Does it make you say that's trash? Does it make you want to go harder with what you're doing?
It may. I can't lie. I was finna lie. I ain't gonna lie. It don't give me. It don't make me go harder. That's the politically correct thing. It make me go harder because, like they say, if you don't got nothing good to say, don't say it at all. For me, hey man, I mean, I ain't king on it, but it's like, you don't like the, you would want it to be your motivation to go harder, but like they say, bad gas will make your car shut down. Yeah. So I don't try to take negative energy and make that my end all be all to go harder. I think the industry today is what 8 Ball and MJG, 8 Ball personally on records where he was like, the artist pays the price. Biggie, Pop, a lot of them was saying back in the day it was going to come to it and came to, the industry is what they made it, and hey, niggas keeping the cycle going. They ain't stopping it. You know what I'm saying? Everybody got eyes. We know what we seeing. You know what I'm saying? And if you Google CB4.
The movie?
Yeah.
With
Chris Rock.
Yeah.
They told us this shit in the 90s it was going to happen.
They did. I will say this, because I always am honest. I will say the music today, I would say 80% of it is trash. But I will say it's what the audience is accepting of. Like, Migos wouldn't be popular if people weren't buying their music. If people weren't singing their music and going to their shows, such as Future. Now, don't get me wrong. I listen to some of their songs. Bad and Bougie, I like the song. But if I'm going to actually sit there and say, do I think their music will stand the test of time? I don't think so. I think their music is here for now. I don't think we could ride to one of their albums, say 10 or 20 years from now, like we could do Biggie Smalls, Ready to Die or Life After Death, or even any of Tupac's music, or, Snoop Dogg, or any artist in that nature. We could still listen to them 10 years from now, 20 years from now. We are still listening to them 20 years from now. I don't think we could do that with Future and Amigos and them. in a lot of the music that's coming out. That's why I say